Hey, what's up, guys? Jonathan Belcher here. I just came here to help my mom run some errands. So I dropped her off over here, some building over here, because she works for the union, so she has to go to a meeting and handle some stuff. And as I was in the car just, chilling out, thinking, I was like, why not shoot a video real quick, and share some knowledge, drop some network marketing nuggets, some wisdom and stuff like that. So I'm actually in like this parking lot, and it has like a couple levels to this parking lot, so that's why you see all these cars behind me. And it's like one of those parking lots where you feel like you're inside, but you're actually outside, and in certain parts is inside, but you still feel like you're outside. It's weird. But anyway, people are probably gonna be looking at me like I'm freaking crazy right now doing this video, which is cool. I don't mind, because one thing about business is you gotta be yourself. That's number one. And then once you understand the skill sets, once you get the knowledge, once you learn the ropes of the business, then you start to add your personality, right? You gotta be yourself, You gotta be yourself in business. So, okay, there's a train station over here. Cool. But anyway, I'm specifically doing this video today to speak to Marykay consultants out there. So, I just want to say I commend, I want to congratulate, and I honor all of you beautiful women out there who are in the Marykay business, and some of you men who may be in the Marykay business. I want to say that I congratulate you and I honor you for making a decision in the right direction, right? Getting started as an entrepreneur. And I understand sometimes it can be tough in business, right? Sometimes getting a consistent flow of sales can be a tough thing sometimes. And the reason why I know is because I experienced that for many years. I experienced failing for many years to get sales, failing to build a team, failing to build an organization. So that's why now today I just share my knowledge. I share everything that I've been learning over the past 7 years or whatever it is about internet marketing, right? And lead generation and sales and stuff like that. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna save you years and years of struggle, right? This message that I'm gonna share with you in this video is gonna save years and years of struggle. It's gonna shave off a whole long time of a learning curve so that you won't have to go through this struggle, right? So, and specifically, what I want to talk to you about is closing sales. And the art of closing sales, because there is an art to closing sales. And once you understand it and you master it, closing sales is going to become like clockwork in your Marykay business, right? It's going to come, you're going to start to get consistent sales. You're going to get close after close after close. You're going to increase your closing percentage. And of course, you know that the more sales that you close, the more money you make in business, right? You got to be able to close sales in business in order to make money. So it doesn't really matter what you're selling. This applies to it, right? It doesn't matter if you're Marykay selling cosmetic beauty products. That's perfectly fine. That's okay. But this is the major shift that I made in my business and in my life that allowed me a change, right? It allowed me to close more sales, make more income, and it's really one of the main things that allowed me a major breakthrough, So what I'm going to talk about, please take out a pen and pad if you can really quick. It's not going to be too long of a video. But yeah, so closing sales, right? The art of closing sales. Now, you may say, John, how do I close more sales? How do I get more effective at closing sales? You may be a businessman or a businesswoman and you want to become a master at closing sales. Well, I'm going to tell you the secret to closing more sales. The secret to closing more sales is this. Listen carefully. The secret to closing more sales is asking more questions. Asking questions. That is the secret to closing more sales. If you want to close 10 times more sales, ask more questions. You ask your prospect questions, right? You ask your leads questions. People who hit you up interested to get started with you in Marykay or buy a product from you in Marykay, you ask them questions, right? So what I mean is, because years ago I failed miserably because I had the mindset where I would just meet people or see people at the family functions and I would just pitch. right? Pitch. I'll tell them about how awesome the products are. I will tell people about how awesome the company was. I will tell people about how awesome the CEO is. What does the CEO believe in? How much money the CEO makes? How much money my upline makes? I used to tell them all that bullshit, right? I used to go, tell them all, hype up the company. I used to tell them about this and that, all the facts of the company. But I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Hyping up your company, telling people about the facts of your company, showing, it's okay. It may close some sales, but it's not going to close enough sales to allow you to change your finances, right? So instead of being like everyone else, because when you're pitching your business and you're going up to people and you're telling them about your business, you're telling them about your products, you're telling them about the compensation plan, you're not standing out at all, right? You're not setting yourself apart as an expert. You're setting yourself as an amateur and as a mediocre businesswoman or businessman. So I'm going to tell you how to set yourself apart as an expert in the business so you could close more sales. More people are going to trust in you. More people are going to start to confide in you. And more people are going to start to like you, right? And they're going to see you as a person who can help them get to their goals, right? Maybe you're working with prospects who want to make more money. Maybe you're working with prospects who want to look better, right? Maybe they want to buy a beauty product, right? Maybe they want to buy whatever it is that your company has to offer that's going to help them feel better, look better, and stuff like that. So, but don't be like everybody else. Don't just pitch your company. The best way to close sales is to ask questions. You ask your prospects questions. So you say, what kind of questions do you ask your prospects, John? What do you mean you ask questions? And maybe you want to know why you should ask questions. Well, first off, the types of questions I ask people, right? When people hit me up in business because they're interested in buying a product, or they're interested in being a part of my movement, or they're interested in working with me, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? I always ask the person questions because I want to know if my prospect qualifies or if they're a good fit for whatever it is that I have to offer them, right? You get what I'm saying? So in other words, I'm not going out there trying to sell pork to a vegetarian. I'm not going out there trying to sell beef to a vegan, right? I'm not doing that. I'm going out there trying to sell something, a product, a service, a coaching, a program, something that's going to help the person who's about to invest with me and buy the product. That's what I'm doing. So you got to qualify. You got to be a person who's actually going to benefit from getting my product. If you're going to be a person who benefits from getting my products, well then I'm becoming a better businessman or a better businesswoman, a better entrepreneur, because I'm actually serving society in a positive way. I'm actually serving the consumer, the buyer, my customer in a positive way when they make this purchase. And a lot of people think that buying products is about benefiting the person you're buying from or benefiting the company you're buying from. No, it's not. We got to change that thinking. We got to change that approach. We got to change that mind frame, right? And the better mind frame to have is that the person selling the product, which may be you, right? You're going to benefit, as well as the person who's buying the product from you, as well as the person who's joining you in your Marykay business, as well as the person who's buying your service from you. They should benefit just as much, if not more, than the person buying the product. So we no longer should look at sales as something that, oh, wow. Number one, we shouldn't look at sales as something hard to make. Number two, we shouldn't look at sales as something that's only going to benefit the person selling the product or the service. And number three, we should look at the sales process as a process where the person selling the good is looking to benefit the person who's about to buy it. That's what sales are about, right? So you want to benefit the people you're actually serving and you're selling products to. So when you ask questions, it gives you information, because when you ask your prospect questions, the prospect is going to answer those questions for you. And those answers that they give you is going to give you the information letting you know if they're a good fit for your product, if they're a good fit for your team and your business. Now, once you gather all that information and you know more about your prospect, you know what your prospect needs, you know what your prospect wants, you know what your prospect is looking to try to accomplish. Once you can get all that information from your prospect, then you're in a good position to close the sale, right? So notice I didn't just say, I'm not telling you to go out there pitching your business. If you do that, number one, people are going to run away from you. They're going to start to run away from you because whenever they see you coming, they're going to be like, oh, wow, this person is going to talk about their business, they're going to pitch their business to me once again, and I don't want to deal with that. So they're going to walk the other way. So you don't want to deal with repelling people. So the way that you attract people to you is that when you get a prospect, you start to ask them questions. And you would ask them questions like, what do you currently do for a living? You know, and they're going to tell you what they do for a living, or if they have a job at all. How do you like your job? How much do you get paid? Is the pay good enough for you? Right? And you say, all right, why would you ask that kind of question, John? Why would you ask the prospect, what do you currently do for a living? Well, the reason why you would ask the prospect, what do you currently do for a living, and I'm still in the parking lot, right? So please, I know it's a lot of cars in the background and stuff, but when I get a nudge to do a video and drop value on you, I have to do it on the moment. You know how I am already. I'm a firm believer that when you're passionate about something in the moment, you should do it in that moment. You shouldn't put it off until later, the next day or something like that, because it's the value or whatever it is that you have to share. When you're passionate about it in that moment, you're always going to deliver it to the best of your ability. So that's just a secret that I just live by and a principle I live by. So that's why I just randomly said, let me just cut on the camera in the parking lot and just start talking. But so I asked the question of, what do you currently do for a living? I asked the prospect that question because I want to know if this person even has a job. If the person doesn't even have a job, or for example, they don't even have any source of income, then they're not in position to purchase any product from me. They're not in position to join me in the business. They're not in position to make any investment with me or join me in business because they don't have a job. So that's the whole purpose of me asking. One of the first questions I always ask my prospects is, what do you currently do for a living? And then I ask them, you know, how do you like it? Is the pay good enough for you? And then I ask a series of other questions before I actually finalize and close the sale. So I'm asking questions. When the prospect answers, I then come back with something that encourages them. I come back with something that adds value to them. I come back with something that helps them, right? I respond with something that helps them, and then I move on to the next question. So now I'm getting information from the prospect without them feeling like I'm just here to make the sale, right? Because that's not what it's about. What it's about is actually serving the customer to the best of your ability. It's about serving the customer and getting the customer what they want. That's what business is about, right? So I'm asking, you want to ask questions. Number one, here's what asking questions does. Now I'm going to explain the psychology of asking questions to you and why it's so important to use it for your Marykay business, why it's so important to use it even when a prospect hits you up on Facebook saying, hey man, or hey woman, I just saw your Marykay video. Let's say they seen a video you did on Marykay, or I just seen your post on Facebook about Marykay, or I just saw your website about Marykay. How can I get started? How can I get more information? I want to get started. Me personally, I wouldn't just run to just get them to join the business. I would ask them the questions. I always ask my prospects certain questions to see if this person qualifies for the product, to see if my product fits for what they want or they need. You get what I'm trying to say? I hope this makes sense. So here's what asking questions does and why it allows you to close more sales. And once I started to ask questions instead of pitching my business started to go through the roof. I started to make more and more and more sales. And that's what's going to happen for your business as long as you apply what I'm talking about today, right? So when you ask your prospect questions, number one, you show that you care. You show that you have a real and honest interest in where they want to be and what they want to accomplish and what they're trying to do. That's number one. When you show your prospect you care, they're automatically more inclined to trust you. They're more inclined to listen to what you have to say if you're listening to what they have to say. So that's number one, you showing that you care. The next thing that the questions do for you, and it helps you as a saleswoman or salesman, is questions gives you information. That's number two. You need information from your prospect. So when you ask questions, the information you're getting is going to be information that's going to allow you to easily close the sale later on in the conversation. Does that make sense? So if I'm asking my prospect these questions, and I'm asking them questions like, you know, what is your main objective? What is your main objective in this business? Or why do you want this product, or something like that, right? And they tell me the reason. This information is going to be important for me closing the sale later on, because I need this information to tell the prospect, look, this is what you want. This is what you need. You get what I'm saying? So that's the second thing that asking questions does, is it really gives you a good layout of information to understand your prospect more, to understand what your prospect wants more, to understand what your prospect needs more. And those answers are going to allow you to present your presentation, your business, your plan, your compensation plan, your product, whatever it is. It's going to fit whatever it is that that prospect said they wanted. I hope that makes sense. That's making sense. So that's the second thing that asking questions does. The third thing that asking questions does is it also helps you to build rapport with the prospect. Remember, I always talk about in a lot of my videos that you've seen probably of me on YouTube in the past, I speak on some of those videos, I speak about rapport and how important it is for closing sales and how important it is for doing business with people, because people just naturally, you know, we don't tend to do business with people we just don't know, right? We don't tend to just do business with random people. Usually, a person is only going to do business with somebody they know, like, or trust, right? Or all three. So that's why you ask questions. The next reason is to build a rapport with your prospect, to build some type of common ground, some common understanding, something. Maybe you like the same things that that prospect likes, right? Maybe you enjoy the same things like that prospect enjoys. Now you can use that angle or that common thing that you guys both like as a grounds for establishing rapport. Now this person likes you. Now they're more inclined to listen to you about your Marykay business. They're more inclined to listen to you about your Marykay products. And notice, when you're asking questions, you're just having a simple conversation. That's how sales are supposed to actually feel. It's supposed to seriously just feel like a simple conversation. That's how closing sales, when you're really good at it, you'll start to see it as a simple conversation you're just having with your prospect, right? You know what I mean? You're just having a simple conversation. The conversation should flow, but the purpose of your questions that you ask should gather the information that you need to help you to close the sale, right? You see the train in the back, so please ignore the train in the background. Please ignore that sound in the background. All right, so that's another thing. You gain rapport from asking your prospects questions. So of course, you know, another question that I ask, trying to give you some more questions, is, you know, for example, you can ask somebody, how long have you been thinking about doing XYZ? That's a very powerful question. So I don't know what it is exactly what it is you're trying to sell in your Marykay business at any given time, but this applies to anything you're trying to sell. You know, let's say this person says they want some type of eyeliner or something, right? This woman wants some eyeliner that she likes that Marykay sells, and you're trying to sell it to her, for example. You say something like, you know, well, oh, how long have you been looking for this particular eyeliner? Or how long have you been looking to be able to cover up the dark spots under your eyes? Or how long have you been trying to, you know, whatever. But it has to go, you have to ask, how long have you been trying to, and then you place in their goals, right? Whatever their goal is, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. So you say, how long have you been trying to, then you insert their goals. So you're asking them a question now that gives you an understanding to how long this person has been wanting this change, or how long this person has been needing or has had a desire for whatever it is they're trying to buy from you. And that's important because that tells us how passionate they are and how bad they want the product, and that helps us to close the sale better. So the purpose of asking questions is it allows you to become an expert. You're no longer a mediocre salesman or saleswoman anymore. You're no longer just average. You're now an expert because you're asking questions that are benefiting both you and the customer. That's the goal. You ask questions that benefit you because it gives you the information you need, and it benefits the customer to get the customer to realize why they need to make a decision today to get whatever it is you're offering, whatever it is you're trying to sell or promote. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to say that there's a method to the madness of asking questions when talking to people instead of just pitching your business. Everybody's doing that. You know what I mean? So if you want to stand out and really be an expert, stop pitching your business, right? I'm not saying to not pitch it at all. That's not what I'm saying, not to pitch at all. But pitching has to be done at the right timing. When you start doing your pitching and closing of the sale at the right timing, your sales are going to naturally increase. Because now people, when they talk to you, they're not going to feel like you're trying to just sell them just to make a quick buck. They're not going to feel like you're just trying to, you know, scam them into joining something. They're not going to feel like that. They're going to feel like, wow, this person is really trying to offer me a business opportunity because it's going to help my situation. This person is really trying to offer me this product because it's going to make me look better. It's going to make me feel better. And they really want to help me to reach my desires and my goals in life. That's how the prospect is going to start to see you. Once the prospect starts to see you like that, you're going to close more and more sales. There's going to be people joining you left and right. Right? And what is this all? The reason why we got to come together on this movement, like I created the 302 Freedom Movement, we got to save the network marketing industry. We have to save the network marketing industry. I still see there's a lot of people doing things just the wrong way, which is fine, but we got to come together and teach people the right way so that more people can become financially free, which is what network marketing is really all about. At the end of the day, an MLM direct sales business is all about becoming financially free. So we got to come together and we got to teach the methods that actually work. And I know for sure, I'm 100,000% sure that asking questions works a lot better than just pitching your business. It closes more sales for you, it increases your success rate, it increases your income, and helps you to be able to do the things that you want to do in your life and in your business. So the key to closing more sales, closing 10 times more sales, is to start asking the right questions, right? So like I said, one of my first questions I asked is, what do you currently do for a living? How do you like it? Is the pay good enough? Stuff like that. How much are you looking to make per month as an entrepreneur? It depends on what I'm selling. At the end of the day, the questions depend on what you're selling at the end of the day. But then you ask those questions, and then you get down to the last question. You say, all right, so what is keeping you from making a decision to buy, or what is keeping you from making a decision to invest in? What is keeping you from making a decision to get started today, right? And that's one of my closing questions that closes the sales. And a lot of times when I ask that question towards the end, right, of the conversation, the person will tell me, oh, nothing's keeping me. I'm ready to get started now. I'm ready to sign up now. How can I get started? How can I join? How can I buy? Get what I'm saying? So it does depend on, when it comes to formulating your questions, it does depend on what you're selling. But once you get the questions, presented in a way that fits for what you're selling, you're gonna have a process and a system and a way to talk to each and every prospect. And now you can know ahead of time if you're gonna close the sale or not. So the way that it's supposed to work, when you're closing sales, you're supposed to have a process that you can follow for each and every single prospect, right? And there's gonna be some people who you close easier than others. There's going to be some people who join faster than others. That's perfectly fine in business, right? There's going to be some people who join on the spot. There's going to be some people who join a week later. There's going to be some people who join a day later. There's going to be some people who buy a month later. That's fine. That's just part of the business, the business, right? So, but it just make sure that you speak to people and you ask questions. You show that you care. You add value, and then don't be afraid to close the sale. Don't be afraid to close the sale. If you feel you've had a full-on conversation with this prospect, you got all the information you need, you know the prospect's needs, and you know their desires. Because those are the main things you're focusing on when you're asking questions, is you're focusing on the needs and the desires of the prospects. And you're seeing if your product, your business, your service can help what they need or what they want, give them what they need or what they want. And that's all that sales is. That's all that mastering sales is all about. We actually use these tactics more than we think, right? A lot of times we just think of this because, oh, I'm talking to you about sales, but let's take this out of the context of sales. A lot of people know how to sell things. Let's say you just watched a movie and the movie was awesome, right? You just saw a movie that was very great. When you come back home and you see your family and you see your friends, think about how you sell that movie to them. Think about what you tell them about the movie that makes them want to now go see it. Right? You tell them things that makes them want to go see. You tell them things that makes them passionate. And there's nothing wrong with being passionate about your Marykay products or your business, but just understand that there's a way to go about effectively speaking to people and closing the sale. And you should not go around pitching people, because they're going to get sick and tired of it and they're just going to stop listening to you, right? And I don't want that to happen. I want people to see you as a leader in the niche, as somebody that can help them, somebody that can help them succeed. And that's basically it, right? So without any further ado, I hope you got value from this video. If you did get value from this video, please like, share, and comment on this video. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet. And if you would like to get access to the pro training for Marykay, if you want to take your Marykay business and your sales to a whole new level, and you want to increase your lead flow, your traffic generation, and the sales, if you want to increase the amount of people hitting you up every single day to get started at Marykay and buy from you in Marykay and just build a full-on brand that attracts people left and right to you, then just check out the link in the description of this video. You'll get access to what the traffic course that I have to offer you. And I'm gonna see you at the top. This is Jonathan Belcher. I highly recommend getting access to the course in the description of this video if you want to level up in a big time on a mega level. This is Jonathan Belcher. I'm gonna see you later. Peace.